It is an honor to be here on Brother from Another. It is an honor to be on your show, Natalie. Honor to see that smile of yours. But I'm glad you're smiling because judging by your feed, I thought you were in a bad mood. Because I'm usually the curmudgeon on this show, and to a greater extent, Michael Holley's more of a curmudgeon than I am on this show. But what you mean the All-Star game was worse than it was expected to be?
I mean, I feel like it's self-explanatory. I think Mike Malone is using the term loosely when he says they put on a show. Like, for who exactly is he referring to? And again, I mean, I wasn't there in person, so maybe the fans in person appreciated it. And I understand that there's a world that exists beyond Twitter. So sometimes it's easy to think what people are saying online is what people think. But with him also saying it wasn't the best game, Jaylen Brown saying it wasn't the best game, I'm just surprised he's also saying they were putting on a show. No, they weren't. And that's part of the problem. They didn't put on a show.
I thought it was a lot of fun. It had its moments in the All-Star game. That's what it is. It's more moments than it is some, battle for conference supremacy or battle for pride. I mean, we thought that the All-Star draft might inspire a level of pride. It was fun. We'll get to the All-Star draft specifically in a minute. The All-Star draft was cool, but of course there's not the intensity, because what's on the line? What are the real stakes here? The Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, mano a mano, that was cool. And I don't know that we've ever really seen that because of this new format. Not that we're drafting in recent years, drafting players, and last night, of course, drafting them live. Oftentimes, teammates were still teammates in the All-Star game. Seeing them one-up each other was really cool. It was an awesome shooting display. Some of the half-court shots, yeah, I still enjoy that. But if we're in a time and place where there are questions about load management and how that's hurting the game, and what is the answer for load management, what in the hell makes people think we're going to get these players to play hard in an All-Star game? Like, that ship has sailed. That day is dead. We don't roll like that no more. Like, Candace Parker referenced that great 0-1 All-Star game with Allen Iverson at the end of it. That day is over. So old people like me can wax poetic and be nostalgic for the days when they took All-Star games seriously. They're not doing that anymore because they don't take the regular season seriously. So they don't take the regular season seriously. Why are they going to take an exhibition seriously? And furthermore, Natalie, the moment when LeBron James tried to play defense, what happened? He got hurt. So if you thought that players were going to get together and say, you know what, man, maybe we ought to try to play harder. Maybe we ought to do more for the fans. Like, the game deserves better. Our forefathers, the giants on whose shoulders we stand on, deserve a better All-Star game. Then LeBron goes and hurts his hand, which looked really painful, goes and hurts his hand trying to block a shot. Shit. They ain't playing defense and they ain't playing hard. So what else do you expect? What do you want them to do?
More. I mean, for one,
in a word, huh?
LeBron was already hurt. So shout out to him for even trying. So hopefully he's okay. But we don't have a history. Everyone, that feels like the new talking point this morning that I'm seeing. Not per se just from you, but I'm just seeing people say, I don't want to risk players getting hurt. Like, when has that happened so much that this is a big concern for us now in the All-Star game? And no one is expecting them to go out and put out playoff intensity. That's not what we're asking. But even in the last...
Just want a middle ground.
Yes, even in the last few years, I felt like the All-Star game had actually improved with some of the changes they made. So getting rid of the conferences, doing the charities where you get something for winning, the quarters or the halves, whatever it is, because you did see them at least near the end kind of start to do a little more. So, but this year, even in the fourth quarter, we were all waiting for it. It was like, okay, we know they're going to step up the intensity in the fourth. And that just never happened. I mean, there was literally no effort. And I do feel like the fact that Kevin Durant was missing, Stephen Curry was missing, Zion's younger, but I say that because I still feel like Bron, KD, even Giannis probably if he wasn't injured. I think some of the older players, they still understand that it's meant for them to put on a show and do a little something for the fans. But I feel like I don't want to just be like typecasting everyone, but it seems like the younger players, they're just like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And I don't get it. Like, where's the excitement, especially all these first-time All-Stars? Yes, I do. Where's your excitement for your first time being in the All-Star game? It baffles me.
Yeah, no. Listen, you too young to be sounding so old, but I'm feeling you though. I'm feeling you. Because once upon a time though, you think of Kobe Bryant, and once upon a time, these young guys would come to an All-Star game looking to announce their presence with authority, looking to make a point, looking to put on a show, looking to say, hey, I'm here, or looking to take it to Michael Jordan or something, or just kind of like, hey, I'm a part of this now. I'm, basically having a coming out party. Exactly. It doesn't feel that way. I hear you, but I just think it's the day and age we're living in where load management is not just a trend, but now the norm. It's not just a couple of years ago, it was like, what's up with all this load management? Now it is synonymous with the NBA regular season. We could talk later about player movement and the effect that it's had on the NBA product in general, but I just think that ship has sailed. I think that day is over where the All-Star game is going to matter from a competitive standpoint. Listen, I'll go back to Bud Selig. Man, we clown Bud Selig. Remember when Bud Selig made the MLB All-Star game the deciding factor for home field? Short of going back to conferences and having it determine home court advantage, and maybe that might not even do it. What kind of stakes could you assign to this game to get players to not just play in it, but play hard?
Yeah, I gotta, maybe this is gonna sound messed up, but I do think a lot of this has to do with the game being in Utah. I do. I think that the players were probably not that excited for it, and then, like I said, some of your top talent was missing. Look, I don't think we're gonna go back to the days of, the way it was, Kobe and, like the back and forths at the end and stuff like that. But like I said,
KG and them.
Yes, I do feel like there were some changes. Like, it started to get better, and then this to me feels like an abomination. So I'm hoping.
Oh, abomination! It wasn't that bad.
It really was. What moment? The Jalen back and forth with his teammate. That's the moment.
I thought some of the shooting was impressive. I mean, as much as long distance shooting can still be impressive. Yes,
I enjoy that. I enjoy long distance shooting, but it wears off. It wears off quickly. It wears off pretty quickly.
If Steph would have played, it'd have been a great night, huh? That's what it was. Just go ahead. Steph wasn't out there.
It certainly would have been a better night, but Steph put on a show for the whole thing almost last year. He won, and Jason Tatum was trying to do that, and I think a few others, but it just.
Jason Tatum was incredible.
He was, and I love Jason Tatum. He's my guy.
Even in a game with no defense, and the All-Star game has never really had defense other than some pockets toward the end of the game.
For sure.
But, 55 is 55. Listen, they were all out there getting the same shots, and he got 55 of them things.
Listen, he was great, but I don't know if you remember a few years ago, I don't remember what year it was, but in the All-Star game, Paul George was close to breaking the scoring record, and they did everything to stop him, and he ended up not breaking it because they were like, nah, you're not getting that, you're not getting that. And that was fun. You saw a little bit of that, but like this year, and we're just talking about the game. Don't even get me started on the skills competition.
Competition sucked.
And even the three-point contest.
Lack of skills. Three-point contest was a dud. Dunk contest, though, come on now. The dunk contest was official.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.